Did you seriously think you could somehow change the world from here?
Yeah, sort of at first.
And? How do you feel about it now?
I'm not blazing with satisfaction or anything. But the truth is, it all ended for me the instant I shared my memories with you. At that point, when my work was done, I figured that you'd probably be able to run with it from there.
You're a hell of a liar, kid. I clearly recall you didn't want me involved.
I'm sorry, but the minute you share and synchronize all your information, you lose your uniqueness and become absorbed into the unconscious maliciousness of a third party that has no motive, or perhaps into the will of someone who does have one.
Are those your words based on what you've gained from hard-earned experience?
Yes, and the fact is, you yourself played the role of the laughing man copycat as well.
Well, I have to admit, it was a fascinating phenomenon. At any rate, what was your underlying reason for triggering such a huge event in the first place?
To you, everything that's happening in the world appears phony to be something other than what it is, right?
Does that TV sound you?
Yes. When it comes to cyberization, I'm pretty much the shining example of a poster boy. So you'd think at the very least I would have felt terrified at the thought of contracting cyberbrain sclerosis. I'll tell you, it was a simple piece of mail I stumbled across the net that began this whole thing. What I found was a blackmail document that had probably been sent to Serrano Genomics. It was armed with a thesis that was a comparative study of the inadequacy of Serrano micromachines versus the effectiveness of the Corona vaccine.
Then the original lagging man was the person who authored it.
You could put it like that, I suppose. I am the machine that reveals the world to you as only I am one able to see it.
Zidovletov. He was a Russian filmmaker, wasn't he?
Yes. I was kidding myself by thinking it was my personal mission to prove and circulate that information, vital data I alone could happen upon.
Failing spectacularly, the pure innocent mediator grew dejected at the base nature of the social system and he turned mute.
Yes, it was because of that I became a vanishing mediator. Just like an author whose existence is emphasized by the fact that he rarely puts out any new works for publication. In other words, by disappearing, it acts as a dynamism of the social system. Our sociological theory, it ultimately vanishes, leaving no trace of its presence inside or outside the system.
Frederick Jameson, I believe.
Yes, and no. Masachi Osawa, too. Even though I was familiar with the words, I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes. Who knew that copies could still be produced despite the absence of an original? If you had to give a name to this phenomenon, what would you label it?
It would be standalone complex.
Yes, it's the standalone complex. From the start, the very nature of our current social system has contained mechanisms to trigger such an amazing occurrence. Personally, however, I feel this marks the beginning of a new era of despair. What's your opinion?
I don't know. It's impossible for me to say. Although I have found one thing capable of restoring your individuality after all your information has been synchronized.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Everyday human curiosity.
You're right. You know, that's something that never occurred to me. I think my brain has already started to harden.
Have you ever had that feeling that something is not right with the world? That the truth you think you know is a lie, that there's a secret you're not being told? What if I could tell you that it's best to trust your gut? Here it comes now, the big secret. The earth is flat. The earth is flat, the earth is flat. Ask any expert in the tinfoil hat. If you're gonna believe something, why not believe that? The earth is flat. The earth is
Hello,
flat.
everybody.
The
Welcome.
It's probably on for elephants.
We're going to get started in just a
If
minute.
you're gonna believe something, why not believe that? The earth is flat. Illuminati.
I hope you all are enjoying the music choices.
Come on, I really doubt it. 5G, chemtrails, and all that vaccine stuff. That's just some crazy cow shit. A fake moon
Hey,
landing.
Lucifer, we'll share the link in just a second of
Paul is
this.
dead. What's up with that? Epstein didn't kill himself? Well, maybe that one might be stupid. But never mind, anyway. The earth is flat. The earth is flat. The earth is flat. Ask any expert in the tinfoil hat. If you're gonna believe something, why not believe that? The earth is flat. The earth is flat. The earth is flat. It's probably on 4 elephants on a turtle's back. If you're gonna believe something, why not believe that? The earth is flat. It's a sad and sorry state of affairs when all of science united declares that the world we are standing on is actually round. It's easy to disprove. Just take a look at the ground. Just use a gyroscope to measure rotation, and you'll see. No, disregard that point. Use a laser to measure the Earth's curvature, and never mind. Just Google flight paths in the far south.
Normally, people can only do blockhead out one side of their nose, and so I can only do it out of that one side of my face. The other one does not want to work. It's very rare that people can do blockhead out both sides of their nostrils. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Okay, Lucifer. Well, watch it later. Okay, I'm bringing in my guests. Hopefully, we'll have a couple more people join us. If you want to join us, let us know, and we will send you a link on Discord.
Use this, and what's that song called? It's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the link in just a second.
If we're gonna believe something, why not believe that? The earth is flat.
Ah, that is great. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like this, and the name is here, but what I'm gonna do is we're going to share the link to it. I don't have the original. It's from various artists, but down here it says all of their information. So when you do go there, you can look it up and you can actually go to the original site they're on. We'll go here and Flat Earth song like this. And the next thing we're gonna be watching is I'm not even gonna say it. We're just gonna play it. And let's see. I guess I have to go like this, there. Let me volume so that it's we can hear it for sure. And everybody just watch. And as soon as we watch this, then we'll say hi to everybody, and hopefully we'll have a couple more guests by that point. Once again, if you are on the side chat and you want to join us, just ask us for the link, and I may just put out the link at some point in time just to see who joins us, because I'm not scared of people trying to porn bomb us or anything. Like, we know how to. Well, I'm not scared.
You can let in.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
And, even not now when all the scared boys are focused on us.
Exactly.
This weekend.
So I dare anybody to not laugh while watching this video. If you don't laugh, I will give you $100.
I'm muting.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Here we can see the traitorous penguin betraying mankind by protecting the ice wall from us using their laser-powered nipples. Thanks to these creatures, no man is allowed to
I love that.
The beauty of the ice wall. Not even the cameraman who filmed these penguins. Just look at this feathery fucker. He knows he's keeping the truth from us all. We see him here, obviously gazing over the other side of the ice wall, into the void, which is almost as empty as his traitorous soul. This monkey, who evolution says we evolved from, but that's a completely different set of lies, don't even get me started on that. This monkey also knows the truth. For if he did not know the truth about our magnificent stationary plane, he would be terrified navigating this assault course. For now, he is safely in Papua New Guinea, but if the Earth was truly a rotating globe, he would know that if he was to fall, the Earth would rotate beneath him at thousands of miles an hour, and he would land somewhere in New Zealand. And if you
exactly.
exaggerating when I say that, then simply please do some research. It's exactly what the science says. I'm not misunderstanding or misinterpreting it in any way, shape, or form. This magnificent creature in front of you is on its way migrating to the North Pole, as it does every single year. So ask yourself, really, if the Earth was a globe,
looks like
how could this
CGI.
creature swim uphill for thousands and thousands of miles? Checkmate, Globers. The fictional force of gravity has no effect at all on these birds, no matter what the paid-lying NASA robot chills will tell you. In fact, these birds are merely flapping their wings to wave and say hello to each other. No physics here. Another creature upon which the fictional force of gravity has no effect is this butterfly here. This butterfly whose weight is currently pressing down on this flower. A flower which depends on the sun to survive. One only needs to look at the sun to realize immediately that it is clearly not in space, but actually inside our own dome, floating inside our own atmosphere. And please don't ask me why the insane heat from the sun doesn't ionize our entire atmosphere and kill us all. Well, that is, of course, far too basic a question for me to waste my time explaining to you. But please believe me when I say it is suffice enough to say that everything I tell you about the sun is backed up by actual scientific evidence, not just me plucked out of my asshole. An asshole, by the way, which also proves that you cannot have gas pressure without a container. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's excellent proof that the Earth's atmosphere requires a dome. I like that one. Some people may tell you that the laws of physics say it's impossible for a sun to be small and local and inside our dome, but I say to you it's very easy. You see, the bit what is under the sun is currently the daytime bit, and it's that simple, we don't need to look any deeper. Although I will confess that I did once actually get a letter asking how it was possible to have 24-hour daylight all around the ice wall in Antarctica. Basically, it's something like this. The arrows represent the way the light moves, and this bit here is nighttime, and it all obeys the laws of physics, and everything is fine. Let's move on quickly as possible, please. Again. This sea turtle, whose larger cousin quite literally bears the weight of the world upon its shoulders, is enjoying a swim. An activity which, of course, would be impossible on a globe, as all the water in all the oceans would have simply poured off into the empty void, washing away our brave little hero with it. But this little turtle will survive, and he will grow, and one day our hero will take a huge dive off the edge of the ice wall in a beautiful moment that will send him propelled into the void, where he will find a flat planet of his own to carry upon his own shoulders.
That's right. That's how the life cycle works of planets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These featherless birds are highly intelligent creatures who can see right through the deception that is the globe lie. They are also very witty, and if one listens long enough,
Okay, Vila, you have to take a video. You have to have video of you not laughing this whole time, because I don't believe you haven't laughed this whole time.
I'm still not laughing. I'm still not laughing.
Oh, god damn you. Okay.
you can hear them make jokes about how absurd it is. That the Earth
Maybe a lot of
cannot
money.
just listen to the
Yeah,
one in the corner
exactly.
now. He says, "Look at me. I'm in Australia. I'm upside down." Oh, you clever featherless birds. And at nighttime, these
That
featherless
was a
birds
funny
will come out
joke,
to
though.
witness the glorious night show put on by the fireflies in the sky. Globe believers may tell you that these so-called star trails are circular and unique to each hemisphere, proving that the Earth must be a blue.
jeez.
It is
But
getting
I say
harder.
to them that at nighttime I'm asleep, and
Cheese and
therefore I have never
rice.
seen such evidence. Stop being so preposterous.
Hey, Vila.
These NASA fanboys
Okay,
and
if we
globe
hear you
believers are simply
laugh.
sheep who believe everything
Look,
they are
look,
ever
the
told.
sun's right
Like
behind
you,
those
I had to watch
trees.
at least 5
And
YouTube
it's-
videos
it's-
before I
it's-
realized that I was now an
it's-
expert in
it's
everything.
so
and I could safely
local.
say that
So
the Earth was
local.
flat. You
So
see, these sheep
small
may
and
be able to
local.
explain to me how the globe perfectly predicts and explains sunrise, sunset, eclipses, predicting eclipses, tides, predicting the tides, celestial navigation, weather systems, weather forecasting, star trails, the counterclockwise and clockwise movement of hurricanes in the different hemispheres, earthquake detection, the propagation of seismic waves, the northern lights, the southern lights, the efficiency of flight plans. They might be able to explain to me how GPS works and how satellites have been used to detect forest fire and drought. However, I must ask them all, how many of these sheep have ever taken a ball into the backyard and poured water upon it? I have, and it didn't stay. Back at the ice wall, this honourable penguin has been stripped of its uniform and banished for daring to question the
Hey,
morality
Lizzie.
of keeping the truth of our flat plane from us. The
Hey,
owl is
Julian.
clearly the wisest of all creatures on our stationary plane,
Hey,
and he can explain
Julian.
to you why the sky is blue. The blue sky is clearly a result of the waters of the dome, and it's always blue because the waters above the dome are blue. Our sky is blue. Except, of course, when it isn't blue, but we don't need to have to explain that. Who are we, after all, to claim to know all of the answers? All that is important is that we know if scientists do have answers, that they are most definitely wrong, whatever their answer is or whatever evidence it's based on. And finally, we come to the greatest species on our stationary flat plane, a species which once ruled the world and has now been hidden away from the truth. Of course, I'm referring to the lizard people. And if you do not believe that lizard people existed and have been hidden away from our eyes, then let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever seen a lizard person? No? Enough said. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go, a little word of warning. What you see on screen now is one of the greatest predators of the flat earther on the planet. You will see many flat earth researchers decide to search for the ice wall and the lizard people by using a boat, by the way, which floats purely because of density. Gravity plays no role in it whatsoever. And I myself have waved off several of these brave flat earth researchers and filmed them from the shoreline, but it does appear that without fail, every single one of their boats are sabotaged, and they appear to sink just a few miles off the coast. And of course,
Oh,
the only
no.
possible, plausible, logical conclusion
see how
that
they
any logically
sink.
thinking adult could come to is that these otherwise fairy and pleasant-looking creatures here are in collaboration with these feathery fuckers to try and maintain the globe lie and keep us all in the darkness. So please, I implore you, if you are a flat earth researcher, it is vital that you will stay away from penguins and sharks and also any sort of educational or scientific.
Any scientific. Okay, so if you wanted to
That's
know.
costing you $200. Slim.
Yeah.
Money I've ever made.
So
It was hard though because some of the jokes. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, he's good.
I
he's
still
good.
don't. I still don't believe either one of you that you didn't laugh, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not.
inside I was breaking up, but
No, I know.
think this-
I believe that you
I just
on the outside
wasn't-
didn't, but that was amazing. Anyways, go to Culture Cats.
Culture Cats, who used to be Conspiracy Cats, by the way.
Yeah,
He's now Culture
Um,
Cats. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Go there, and he does these hilarious little things. There's creature and nature document, and he does a handful of other things that are like this, and they're fucking hilarious. So go there and
back to
go
him.
check out his
Yeah.
stuff.
he's
and
very
his
awesome.
stuffs.
Very, very awesome.
Yes.
He's always been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's one of the first photos debunkers I think I watched, like him and Sir Sick and Team. They're like one of the first
Yeah.
I watched.
I think
Yeah,
I think
me
I
too, I
came
think.
from Dan to Cats. Like-
Dan too was now.
Yeah, but I think Cats is one of the funniest debunkers there is.
Definitely, I do agree. So, really quick, this is one of the shorts that I just did today. So,
you did
let's
it.
watch this. Yeah. And that is a face effing in public. There we go. So, nice. All right, let's look at what the thingy-mabobber is. It still looks like Flat Earth Kids is going to be the top one. So we'll go over that first for sure. Let me find the thingy-mabobber. Oh my God, that's so much to read, Ivy. Okay, hold on. Let me go back here. So supposedly you can go on Etsy, I believe, and you can buy Flat Earth parenting teaching kits.
Yeah, not surprised.
Or homeschooling. So they're being shown these things. Let me let it load so that I can get it to get rid of the ads.
Yeah, screw reading, writing, arithmetic. Just show them all Flat Earth stuff. That's all they need to know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
According to Flat Earthers,
yeah.
all the rest is indoctrination.
If it ain't Flat Earth, it's indoctrination.
That's right. Oh, you want to read? You read certain words.
Even though they don't understand, indoctrination means exactly what they're doing. But hey, don't call me out on my bullshit. Anyways, so people are furious. People furious with parents teaching kids Flat Earth. Oh, sorry, kids' Earth is flat from a young age. So here is this like weird Flat Earth little model thingy mabobber, and once we get up here, then it will kind of go. That thing will kind of go away, even though like. But anyways, it's just like this weird domey thing, and like you spin this thing, and it makes the sun and the moon go around.
Yeah.
They still can't. They still can't prove to me why I can see the moon in the middle of the day sometimes. Where is that?
And why you don't see the sun always?
And there's so many.
They don't have a consensus on what actually the mechanics of a flat Earth. None of them really have a consensus. It's all so varied.
Yeah. They don't.
Some
don't
believe in a dome. Some believe in no dome. It's just who the hell knows.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's redonkulous.
Yeah.
So this is the little model thingy that you can buy. I believe it's on Etsy. We're probably going to find that out in just a minute. And there are like Flat Earther flashcards and things like that that you can buy. Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. People
that
have
website allows that to be sold.
Well, I mean, because
it's Etsy,
Etsy is just for like, and what you do is you call it like arts and crafts, and you may not say for educational purposes, but it does say for educational purposes because I have looked it up on Etsy. But there must be some loophole, and or Etsy just wants to sell shit. Like they're just a private company
a platform for selling stuff.
Yeah, but still, like, if I would go on there and start selling 3D printed guns,
that's going to probably be an issue. That's what I'm saying, within reason.
But like, this is almost just as fucking dangerous.
Totally. And that's why there's an outrage on it. And that's why we're talking about it right now, trying to like hopefully dissolve it or get it to go away. Right? Because
I'm for teaching your kids about the flat Earth and the globe Earth, letting them decide eventually what they want to believe in. Show them. Well, here's what some people think. Here's what we know, or whatever.
Yeah, Sure.
Don't base it on your opinion. Let them decide what they want as they get older. The parents are deciding for the kids what to believe in at this point in time. And what they're doing is setting them up for bullying and just ridicule when they get to be especially when they get to be teenagers in high school.
Yes. It's difficult because when you're in a science class, you're going to do science experiments that are going to prove the globe or going to like show science like gravity. So yeah, you can say, hey, there are people that believe in this. Just the only problem is there's no science to back it up. But we can prove it this way.
Correct.
You know, like
the thing with gravity is not a thing. I kind of get that because like gravity is just fucking hard to prove. Like we still don't exactly know how gravity works.
But we know the mechanics of it.
That's true, but like
things always go a certain way when you do certain things. So I mean, yes, it isn't, but it is provable. And what I always say to flat earthers is, if we live in an electromagnetic universe or whatever they say, or there isn't this and it's only buoyancy and whatever, how do I make the weights that I hang from my nipples lighter?
Right. Well, there's no such thing as weight, according to some of them. There's no such thing as weight. It's all density.
Except for that my ears, except for my ears have ripped out fucking lifting kegs. No, but there's no such thing as.
They think density and weight it's not density and weight are not the same thing. They're not.
If it's definitely just only density, then if you would have like 1 square inch of lead, would that not be, would you not have to use the same force for that as for 1 square foot of lead or cubic? I mean, because if it's density, then no matter how big you get, like it will also be pushed up more or pulled down.
It's that concept of what weighs more, a ton of feathers or a ton of rocks.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, this depends if one is metric ton. Never mind.
Well, but I mean,
But anyways,
no, I get
it. Let's keep blowing on. And right now we have a tie for 4chan and slavery ballots. So we need a couple more things.
Oh my gosh.
Don't vote for Flat Earth Kids because we already did that.
We're already on that.
We need
vote for
more.
The next one.
So 4chan or slavery ballots, and we're going to go over the history of 4chan or what 4chan is if you don't know, and then we'll talk about how they're targeting LGBTQ children by doing something. Anyways, people have been left outraged by flat earther parents teaching their kids the conspiracy theory from a young age. The flat earth movement has been gaining traction in the recent years, so much so that the first generation of kids are being indoctrinated with the belief that our planet is flat, despite the fact that it goes against all scientific evidence. This was demonstrated in Facebook posts shared by flat earth parents who revealed their homeschool setup for their kid. Along 2 pics of a homemade flat earth model, they wrote, "We homeschool and we're learning world geography and cultures this year." Okay. We took the first 2 weeks of school to set a foundation of flat earth before we start seeing globe maps in our textbooks. All right. That's their
that's their little
because we have
set up.
And we have globe maps. Exactly. That's how that works. We don't have globes. Well, but we have globes, not globe map. But anyway, never mind. We loved learning about our Earth, the verses to support the geocentric model, which is the Bible. Here's the homemade model that they came up with. I ordered a clear dome from Amazon and then did the rest, even tracing a map on a light board to cut out continents. Ooh, so scientific. Toilet paper rolls for the pillars of the earth. And that's what is holding it up.
Oh, that's what those are. Okay.
Yeah, the toilet paper rolls are holding this motherfucking shit up.
Where's the elephants and the turtle? Hello?
Yeah, see, that's where he's missing.
Yeah.
Painted foam balls with the sun and the moon stick on geo stones as stars.
Gemstones, yeah.
Gemstones as stars. So that's on the outside.
The moon and the sun the same size. Look at that.
Yeah, of course he did. And they're the kind of they're supposedly.
Look how huge they are.
I know. Look at this.
Well, I guess it's not. Like, it should have not to scale somewhere written on there, right?
We also don't teach the geocentric model.
No, we don't.
Okay,
yeah, we're not.
I just quickly looked it up. Yeah. Etsy only prohibits a very limited amount of things.
Okay.
And it has to be something that will get them into legal trouble. So things that promote violence, hate,
right.
things like that. So
it's promoting violence. I want to kick the shit out of the person who made this. Oh shit! Sorry, never mind.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Alcohol, drugs, drug paraphernalia, medical drugs, animal products, human remains, dangerous items, hazardous materials, recalled items, weapons, hate items, items that promote, support, or glorify hatred, illegal items, internationally regulated items, nudity, immature content, and violent items. Unfortunately, it falls into none of the subcategories either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is allowed.
Allowed
because they say this is a non-curated site for crafts, and this is a craft thing.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's stupid.
Okay, really quick. Is this what is? Okay, that is an ad. Really quick. Yeah, really quick. They're debating making an ice wall out of molding clay right now. The post has been shared far and wide online, and many in desperate about what is the future is the means of future generations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's exactly.
That's
exactly it.
I mean, there's nothing really else.
The hard-on collider. Look there. Sorry.
The hard-on collider. Ooh, I want a hard-on.
Oh,
sorry. That's something different.
A hard-on collider.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's not what. That was not what that is. No.
I saw that really quick.
Yeah. No,
my apologies.
Okay. Did somebody break the chain? Did somebody? Do we have a tiebreaker? Nope. Somebody, come on. Somebody, you have to break the tie. I know somebody out there has not. I know somebody out there has not voted yet.
I'm sorry, I'll vote.
Sure. I mean, both of them are really interesting.
Lizard said, see the stars at night? Shit, someone stole our roof.
God damn it. Yeah, I saw that. He posted.
I had the thing up. I couldn't. That was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, right here.
I had the chat covered, so I couldn't see it.
Oh yeah, I'm not even at my screen at the moment.
I had to embiggen my screen to help to read.
Oh, crazy! Damn it! Now we have 17.
Oh no! They're screwing with you, Slim. They're screwing with you.
I know. Okay,
they're messing with your poll.
Okay, you know what happens when you all do that? We're gonna have to watch something else.
Hang on. There you go. It's 23.
Oh, okay.
Manifesto's 23%.
Oh, we're going with Manifesto now. Oh shit, that was a fucking weird ass swing.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey, Slim, I know you like swinging.
Yeah, exactly. You just did not know we were gonna go this way first. Okay. I'm going to. I have this queued up, but I'm going to go through the news article for this first. Let me find it. Is it up or down? It's down here, I believe. Nope. Okay. I added so many new things today, and while Mama's here, we're going to do a Mama told us from all the stuff that Mama sent me in the Discord to go over. So we're gonna do a stream just called Mama Told Us. Yeah, Mama Told Us. All right.
Well, actually, it's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
That might fit with maybe. I don't know what the subjects are, but maybe that would fit with
Cookie.
With Dick.
Well, I think.
Dick.
I think. Okay.
I don't know.
We'll
His mama told him.
So the Oregon Safeway shooter, we're not gonna say his name ever. I'm gonna call him Eaton Bear. That's what his new name is. Eaton Bear Miller Moth or something. I don't know, but I'm never gonna say his name because that means that we're giving him.
Just make it EB.
Sure.
Bitch,
I'm gonna say Eaton Bear. Anyways, we don't give those people recognition, so we do not ever say their names because that's what they wanted. But we're gonna go over what his manifesto was, and let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll watch this, and then we'll go ahead and go over his manifesto.
Inside a grocery store, a man walked into a Safeway last night armed with an AR-15 style rifle and a shotgun. Police say he opened fire, killing 2 people before apparently killing himself. No word just yet on the names of the gunman or the victims. Police say he also fired shots at a Costco parking lot and a Big Lots store, but did not hit anyone.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So the deranged mass shooter killed multiple people. His name was blah, blah, blah. He was carrying an AR-15 and a shotgun. And he had bombs in his car as well. What I really just want to go over is this manifesto part of this fucker. This asshole, this dick, this waste of a space, waste of oxygen.
At his age, he was 20, and I'm just thinking, how impressionable these kids are.
I know.
That one does this. And 20 years old.
20?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just so
blows my mind.
So before
old for these mass shooters and school shooters and stuff at the moment. They're normally like 15, 16, 18.
They're at the impressionable age. Even at 20, they're still impressionable. Their brains are still developing.
I'm just saying, and it's just like that's old at the moment.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, that's the high end. Yeah, it's just like
that's terrifying.
That's the problem with this propaganda stuff. Is it's impressionable to kids that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it says he wants to die here.
Then kill yourself and leave the rest of the world out of it.
What he wanted to do, and I don't see it exactly in here, but these are the guns that he had on him.
Right.
He said that he wanted to shoot up a school, but he couldn't wait long enough for schools to open back up because they were not back in yet. Yeah. But he had a lot of very white nationalist stuff. So let's go ahead and go to this. And I believe this does tell us a lot more about his manifesto. And if not, I'll find that soon. I'm going to be trying to look it up while we're watching this.
Yeah, and not that it correlates, but Oregon's a very liberal state.
It is
not that it correlates that what he did, but it's very telling.
Yeah.
To me.
This morning, police investigating a deadly rampage at this Oregon grocery store.
First officer at the shooter Safeway East in Bend.
Bend police say at 7:04 p.m., a suspect carrying an AR-15 style weapon and a shotgun began firing in the parking lot outside the Safeway.
There were 10 to 20 shots, and then another 10 to 20 shots, and by that time I went inside and told my dad to get away from the window, and people were running at.
Once inside, investigators say he moved through the store, shooting and killing another person.
The shooter entered the west entrance of Safeway. When that person entered the west entrance, they engaged one person there and shot that person.
Another shooting, another grocery store situation in America. This up in Bend, Oregon. This is from yesterday. They say a gunman killed 2 people and then himself, as you saw some witness there talking about it as well. Let's get more details about this whole situation, this horrific situation.
When police arrived, they found the man they believed to be the shooter dead inside. This morning, they're not commenting on a motive, instead pointing to a long investigation ahead.
Very large crime scene. It starts in the residential area behind the Forum Shopping Center and then moves to the shopping center and includes that entire parking lot.
The names of the 2 people killed have not been released, nor has the name of the suspected shooter. Now, there was an additional person who was shot, transferred to the hospital. They're being listed as in good condition, expected to survive, George.
So a couple of folks expected to survive, but others dead. So there's some people that are trying, although he has been unidentified, there are some people who are pointing out who this guy probably was. So take this with a grain of salt as possible, but it seems to be the case. So there's tweets out about this guy. He said the mass shooter in Bend today is likely a guy that goes by Ethan Miller. It appears he left a manifesto as well, although this is not confirmed again. He has YouTube videos of shooting his gun and a manifesto that he uploaded today. And it says, if you're reading this, then I'm dead. Well, we saw that happened. It seems that he's been planning this attack for months, as we've seen from folks that do these types of things, writing in this manifesto that was pointing out, and also uploading those videos. So in this manifesto, the purported shooter writes being suicidal and evil and taking full responsibility for his actions. He reportedly planned to carry out a school shooting on the first day back of the school year, September 8th, at the local high school. He changed his mind because he couldn't wait.
They are going to go over this
any longer.
We have to.
Chief CrAzY said that law enforcement officials are aware of information floating around social media claiming to be posts by the gunman, and said that they're being investigated. Again, unconfirmed.
That's mainly what we needed to go over is that part of it. But we're going to watch just a tiny bit more. Thank you, TYT, for letting us use this.
Yes.
But it mainly goes
over
at
this particular point. We'll see exactly how this whole thing shakes out. But I did see some of these manifestos. And as I bring these back up, just your first thoughts on this, David.
It breaks my heart that why wasn't this guy investigated before he did this? I mean, if people saw his posts, and there's plenty, obviously he's writing this, I imagine there's some things that he was publishing that were crazy. Why didn't his friends or family or somebody say, we've got somebody who's very troubled here, who's got an affinity for guns and glamorizes them and wants violence. Maybe he needs some help.
Maybe they tried.
Or help, or someone else is going to need some help because of the things that he's been thinking about and planning.
Yeah, you never know.
It's another level of victim blaming. That's, those people should have known there was a nutbag in the area, so they should have gone into the supermarket.
His family should have known.
No, you wouldn't say it that way, would you? Why would you go, how did no one see the warning signs? What if they did? What if he was in therapy?
They probably did.
How about this?
Sleep.
There were no warning signs. Because funny enough, some people are very good at hiding that shit.
Yep. And that's the thing. Maybe they tried to get him help, but because his age, because he's over 18, they can only do so much. Yeah. They can't commit him unless they're, a legal guardian or like a spouse. If you're a parent, you can't commit your 20-year-old child. You know what I mean? Out and out commit him. There's procedures you have to go through. They could have gone to the cops. The cops are like, well, until he does something, we can't do anything.
And that is like, even with like threats, like here it's the same. Like, we can't do anything until he does something, but then it's fucking too late.
Yeah.
We cannot arrest him until he kills you.
That's such a gray area. Do you arrest somebody for threatening, which unless they change the laws and make it threats more of a serious crime, then you can investigate them and do all that. But if that's a fine line police have to walk. Do we arrest them for something they may do?
Oh, there's a fine line between they need to give police more jurisdiction over when threats are made.
Right.
Like where they can go and give warnings or do something more than just be like, sorry, we can't do anything at all.
Correct.
They should be able to go there and be like, we're keeping an eye on you, we're watching you. Stop with this silly fucking bullshit.
But the problem is with police is their hands are tied with a lot of stuff. There's so many. Sorry, just bring this really quick. They can't go after everybody that pulls threats. They don't have enough manpower to watch these people and investigate them. And
that's true.
There's a problem too.
No, but not everyone that makes threats gets reported.
True.
The people that actually report those threats, the ones that are scared.
Right.
Yeah. And like the stupid thing is, like, if I would threaten global mom, like, I'll come for you, I'll kill you. If I would say that, God say, I can't do shit. Try doing that with a public figure or
yeah, exactly.
You're in jail within a minute.
There's a lot of double standards. You're right.
And with politicians, I kind of get it because like they should be well protected to be able to rule the country fairly. But like, well, if they would do that,
your average citizen, they can say, "We'll go get a restraining order if it's that bad." A lot of times, restraining orders don't do shit. The people still get to the other people with restraining orders.
Yeah, that piece of paper doesn't stop a bullet.
Have bodyguards.
Yep.
They don't need the restraining order or the police. They have bodyguards that will just take the fucker down. Average people are the one that need that help.
Right.
Like look at the statistics of like the rates of stalking going up. Look at the fact that like so many people get abused or murdered, attempted murder, like seriously beaten the fuck out of after they break up with their violent partner.
Right.
The restraining order, the non-molestation order basically means nothing anyway. It's just a bit of paper. You can't hold it up and it'll magically stop like it's a shield. But it adds a level of protection.
What, you mean a piece of paper isn't a shield? You can't hold it up in front of your abuser and say, stop in the name of the law. No, I know. I'm sorry.
But
yes,
in all seriousness, we don't live in minority report where every thought is monitored, and if you think about hurting somebody, they take you to jail. We don't. We can't do that. I mean, it's just it's a fine line at this point, and there's no easy fix to it.
Yeah. Okay. So right quick, somehow, for some reason, some states will have slavery on the ballot this midterm election.
God.
What?
So we're gonna go over the technically the loophole in the 13th Amendment means that slavery isn't actually illegal. So people are trying to close this loophole supposedly, and that's what I hope that we're going to be.
Yeah. And most prisons, and like I say, I think we discussed this in the U.S., are privatized.
Yeah,
I do believe they engage in a lot of ways in slavery because they give you
minimal. 100% they do engage in slavery, and private prisons were instituted to literally be weaponized against black men right after the abolishment of slavery. They coincide very closely for a reason. Private prisons were used to arrest them under Trump charges to get free labor, and the fact that these people in prison are forced to do a lot of things.
Wait, you're telling me that I can get sex slaves to work for me for free as long as I punish them because they committed a crime. Sweet, score, loophole. I love it. We're there.
The other fucked up thing is the prison,
right? Loophole.
So what happens is these private prisons buy your contract from the government. So they buy your incarceration from the government.
And
that's only a guideline. Those prisons don't have to let you go at the end of your sentence, and they can let you leave before your sentence. But most prisons want to keep you in as long as possible because you make them money.
Right.
Can you do me a favor?
And they want you to come back.
There, Vila. Will you remind me about doing a whole stream about this?
Yes.
And or if you would like to do a stream on this, we can totally work together on doing that. But
that
message
would be amazing.
We should do something about the private
thing to look at. Yeah,
exactly.
Give Alice a rabbit hole. Give Alice a rabbit hole to dive into.
I'm very pro prison reform. I don't believe that we should be. I don't believe prisons should be the way they are, and I say that as being a victim of some serious crimes. Like,
I think prisons
don't
should not be
believe
private.
That we shouldn't help these people. I really don't.
Prisons should not be private.
Okay, so exactly. Before that happens, I got a private prison for you all. Never mind, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a dungeon.
Okay, if we can, if would you mind reading this for us, Mama?
Yeah. Embiggen, there we go. Okay, in less than 60 days, voters in Alabama, Louisiana, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont will decide whether to abolish slavery, but it's not exactly what you think. The initiative on the ballot is a part of a larger criminal justice reform movement aimed at prison labor. In an attempt to address the loophole in the 13th Amendment, which ended slavery and involuntary servitude when it was ratified in 1865, Advocates push to officially abolish slavery and involuntary servitude, as well as reshape the prison labor system. Longtime advocate and director Ava DuVernay explained the loophole in her groundbreaking documentary 13th. Everybody knows the 13th Amendment of the Constitution says there shall be no slavery in the United States. Most people don't know that that is a lie. Right after it says there shall be no slavery, there's a little clause, a little loophole that says except. The exception is except if you think you're a criminal. If we think you're a criminal. Or just say if you're in prison. I mean, she needs to word that better, but that's fine.
Yeah.
The same exemption clause loophole led to much of the repressive 19th century laws of the South during the Reconstruction era, known as Black Codes. Black Codes allowed authorities to incarcerate Black people for petty crimes such as vagrancy, which was easy to do because the newly freed Black people were already disenfranchised they weren't working. I think it's as they weren't working.
Fuck?
Yeah, as they weren't working and didn't own property, thus pushed to vagrancy.
Hold on, really quick.
Was not proofread very well.
Yeah, Essence doesn't have a fucking proofreader. What the fuck is this bullshit? Like, anyways, keep going.
Yeah, the system would then, if I can talk, the system would then force them to work in a sort of legal slavery. Thus would then allow the system to effortlessly usher in the Jim Crow law. I kind of wish in here they would have put the 13th Amendment text so people could read what it says. It would have been very appropriate here. Currently, 20 states have adopted similar exemptions, their constitutions. Jesus Christ, nobody proofread this at all. No. However, most referendums are asking voters to declare no form of slavery or involuntary servitude be permitted.
Vote.
Voters in Colorado, Nebraska, and Utah struck down slavery and involuntary servitude through similar ballot initiatives in 2018. So, yeah. So, according to Pew, states like Alabama go as far as seeking to remove all racist language from the state constitution. First, you got to define what racist language is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because anything can be deemed racist these days. In Oregon, the amendment would add provisions allowing the state courts to parole agency to order alternatives to incarceration for a convicted individual, depending on their crime, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
While legislation has been introduced in California, Florida, New Jersey, Ohio, and Texas to put similar ballot questions before voters in upcoming elections. They should hire me. I'll proofread for them.
God damn, give me.
You asked, I provide, because I'm sharing I looked it up.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
13th Amendment. Neither slave nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted and shall exist upon the United. Wait.
Within the United States.
I love this part. Shall exist within the United States. Okay, so if I'm dead and I'm a ghost, do I still exist in the United States? And I still have
no.
Oh, okay. Once, never mind. Okay, anyways, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Okay, so as long as I can stick my dick inside of you, I can punish you for. Oh, sorry, that's totally again, dungeon rules again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Section 2 is Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. That is open-ended as fuck.
See, the thing is, in the article they put if they think you are a criminal.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's open.
Well, if you think you're criminal,
that's a direct quote the person they were talking to said.
Yeah.
No, I believe
she's having a conversation, and also, yes, if the government think you're a criminal, Because how many cases are there of people that are in prison wrongfully convicted? How many cases of racial profiling and just outright racism where people of color were put in prisons because this is a black man, and 20 years later they finally got DNA to be actually tested, and it turns out, oh, it's not you, and the DNA isn't even from a black person, it's Caucasian. Like, so yes, if the government think you're a criminal, because they will find a way to put you in. Like,
I do agree with that. Totally. There's a lot of people that are railroaded because they have to find somebody to blame, you know, and if you're the closest thing, they're not going to care about looking for other leads. They're going to go, we got to convict this person right here. We've got somebody. Let's get him in there.
Especially
they don't want to waste the money.
Right.
Especially like, say you're in a small town and there's an outsider of another race and something goes wrong. Easiest way is just to get them outed. You know, oh, they're the witch, they're the wizard, they're the this, they're the that. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately,
and a lot of it's political. It's like we got to show people we're doing something. We need to convict somebody. Totally. It's like you need to make sure that person is guilty.
No, not just find somebody right
quick. In the southern states, in like there's so many cases of good old boys.
Yeah,
of course.
And like they cover for each other.
Of course they do. Obviously,
and then they'll blame somebody else.
Or nothing at all. There was a case for a woman who was dating a police officer. He was an abusive fucker. Let's face it, there are disgusting rates of domestic abuse within law enforcement officers, which is crazy to me because they're being more than like the tiniest percentage. That should be it, but no, it's actually quite high. He was abusing her. She finally left him and started telling people about it. Everyone covered it up. They didn't file her reports.
Yeah, of
they
course.
helped him stalk her, put tracking devices on her. Police gaslit her because no, Joe, I know Joe. I'm best friends with his dad. I watched
my
Joe
mother-in-law.
He's a good boy.
Well,
my husband's father was abusive to him and his mother. He was a police officer. She couldn't tell anybody because, oh, no, this guy, no, he's great. Why would he do that to you?
Yeah.
Even though she had, you know,
we don't allow police to work in the area they live.
Queen is going to go over a whole thing on her channel about exposing cults and other people who were the same thing. You know, they said no, they aren't touching kids, or no, you're not doing this or you're not doing that, and like we're gonna go over like the evidence of some of these things doing it, because I think I've told everybody 1.5 million times, and if you haven't heard or you don't remember, I was molested in Christian school. So it happened to me first. Finger, hand, never mind. So.
Have fun back at work, hon.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Give me just a second. No, I do not need to talk to you, Siri. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Hopefully that you liked the stream and shared, and thank you for being here and commenting. We're going to go over this right quick, because this is like part of the terrible version of people pushing the narrative that slavery was awesome. If these black people didn't have it, then they would be still living in Africa and they would be dying, and never mind. Like,
idiots.
It's obviously PragerU, duh. So here we blow.
There were undoubtedly many night slaveholders. It's meant literally.
It's Dennis Prager trying to make a comment about how there were nice slave owners in America.
Slave owners.
Individuals who purchased humans to force them to work for them for free.
Yes, unfortunately you did, Ivy.
We're nice slave owners.
almost
now,
done with what we were going to talk about. We're going to go over other shit.
Why don't we hear more about these so-called nice
as well?
slave owners?
So we still have a little longer to
If
go.
you had been invited to one of their homes, you would have been treated beautifully.
If you were white.
But they supported a vicious system.
Yeah,
The left is a
there were
vicious
slave
system.
owners that were decent to the slaves.
Technically, I
But,
mean,
but they were still slaves. But they were still slaves.
So there are likely some slave owners that were okay to the slaves. But we're not talking about the plantation owners. We're not talking about the people that had multiple slaves.
Yeah.
We're talking about the small household that bought a slave to be a lady's maid instead of hiring an actual lady's maid. We're talking about people that had like 1 or 2 slaves in their home and that's it. And if you're having such a small amount of people working at the home with you in close proximity, then yes, it is very likely that they were treated decently, but it's also likely that those women were raped or sexually abused, or just as easy that they were treated harshly. But they had every opportunity to buy them, free them, and hire them instead, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they had them working 20 hours a day or whatever.
Regardless of how they were treated. By purchasing them, they helped propel the slave trade.
That
if people just stopped buying them, then no one would go to Africa to get the slaves to bring them back. Because do you know how it was a very risky way of getting profits, high risk, high reward? Because you'd have to travel over to Africa, find the slaves, like find the African people to enslave, then you would have to lock them up on the ship. Sometimes they were waiting on the ship for a month before they even left, so lots of people died then anyway. Then you have to get them to travel across the seas, right? Now we have boats like getting attacked by pirates. We have boats that are lost at sea, that sink. There are storms. A lot of them die en route. If a fever breaks out, the whole cargo may go. When they finally get there, some of them may be sick, this, that, the other. So it's a high risk, high reward to them. Now, if people stop buying them, they're not going to risk all of that lost profits.
But like Carrie Warp is saying, the ones that did come here, a lot of the slaves after that, if you had kids, they were sold into slavery. So eventually a lot of them were born here in the U.S.
And that's what I was gonna say is I didn't buy one from the ship. I just had bought one from the lady up the street. You know, every Saturday you can go down to the market and you can buy yourself a slave. You know, they had the auctions there every fucking Saturday, and all I had to do was go down there with a donkey, and I could just trade a donkey for a lady. You know what I'm saying? And or a little kid. And that's how we did it back then.
Go to market, get your tomatoes fresh off the vine, and your slave baby fresh out the mother's womb.
Exactly. I got the little one. You know the.
And if it's a girl, you can have even pump babies into there and sell them again for profit.
Yeah.
I had a baby making farm for a while there, and that's how I made my money every Sunday every Saturday at the auction. Anyways, let's keep going on with this motherfucker.
We need not forget is there's still slavery going on in the world today.
And that's exactly what we were talking about with the privatized prison
I'm not
systems.
talking just in the U.S. There's still slavery in Africa going on.
Yeah, no, all over the world there is. In South America, there
is still
is
slavery happening in America right now, and I don't mean the prison system. I mean the conventional idea of slavery.
There are a bunch of sex slaves here in the Americas and other places around the world where, unfortunately, there are little boys that are being used in the sex trade in certain places. And that's really horrible because it's the billionaires or, well, I guess millionaires because there's not very many billionaires, I guess. Millionaires that are going over there and like using underage humans for their advantage. But let's keep blowing on. We may talk about that in another episode. Maybe Cookie can cut that down and make it to where it's palatable, and we won't get our channel taken down if we talk about it. But anyways,
slavery is not just a mutual exclusive to the U.S. is all. That's all I'm saying.
It's worldwide. I mean, literally, it's everywhere.
Unfortunately, it's not going to stop anytime soon. Unfortunately,
except I think there's one continent that it's not, and I think that is the Antarctica. Yeah, I think there may not be prostitution or sex trade there, but anyways, I had to figure out a way to make it palatable and make it fun again. So here,
we're not going to stop anytime soon. Unfortunately, we can try, but.
Although I think we need to set up a dungeon. Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Something another time.
Although the end result of all leftism is the enslavement of populations, not as in transatlantic slave trade or chattel slavery, but in the diminution.
Oh my God, he is sped up.
And liberties, which is a form of enslavement.
Fascinating argument. So first, let's address what he's saying piece by piece here, Jane. So number one, he makes the argument that, the whole system of slavery, not so nice. But the people who practiced what was required of that system in terms of having slaves, those people themselves, even though they believed in that system, used that system to their advantage, they're not bad people. They just, treated human beings as property and were vicious to those human beings. But they weren't bad people. I mean, they might invite you to their home and they'd cook you a nice dinner. They'd be super nice if you were a white American, of course. Yeah.
So let me jump in on that one. So if we're being super generous to Dennis Prager, he's saying, well, slavery was vicious, but even so, some of the people who participated in it were nice people. They would treat you nicely. And so don't be fooled by people being nice. Okay, so that's the most generous.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something to say here. My husband shares a name. If you remember the miniseries Roots, that came back on in the late 70s. It was Roots. It was a miniseries on American TV. My husband shared a name with one of the slave owners. When that miniseries came out, a group of black students beat him up because he shared the same name.
God damn it.
Yeah. And it was like, what the hell? We all have names.
Not just white people are racist.
Damn it. No, we definitely, that is a very huge thing.
That's insane.
But that's not racism. That's not anything like that. That's them being ill-informed of how those things like surnames work, that he could have the same surname as this person and have absolutely no affiliation, or that the surnames may not have been the real surnames of the people.
And even
if they were pissed off, they said, well, here's someone with the same name, let's go beat him up. Pretty much.
Even if it was your great-grandpa or your great-great-grandpa, that doesn't mean you did it and that you condoned it.
No, but the people that are the children of slave owners often still profit off what their ancestors did. There's still the divide of how white and black people are treated differently, and that you may be middle class, but they're like lower class or on like below the poverty line.
But
and
that's
because of generational issues with the aftermath of slavery.
Right.
That is true.
Well, you can see why they'd still be angry at you, because you're still profiting off their ancestors' enslavement.
But that incident was just with my husband was just because he shared the same name.
Yeah, that's probably where their was at. They weren't going, oh look, he shares the same name, so I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, well...
And then like Warp was saying, he had a cousin named Rodney King, and he was harassed during the Rodney King incident because he had the same name. So it's people just being ignorant.
And not understanding the concept of...
Well, this person shares the same name, they're not the same person, or they may not even be descendant of this person.
Yeah, exactly. So really quick before we get into this, which is the difference between Reddit and 4chan, we're going to get into the history of 4chan or what 4chan is, and then we're going to get into how they started abusing LGBTQ youths. I'm going to play this while I use the restroom right quick. But before I...
Hey, Jasper.
Hey, Jasper. Well, let's just get into it.
If you're an avid user of the internet, then you've probably heard of both Reddit and 4chan. Both of them are influential websites. But what exactly are they, and what sets them apart from each other? Let's start off with 4chan. It is an image-based bulletin board, also known as an image board, where people can start threads by posting pictures accompanied by text. It was founded in 2003 by Christopher Poo. The website is heavily inspired by Futaba Channel, which is a Japanese forum launched in 2001. The website does not require users to register, which means that everyone is anonymous. Because of this, the site is watched over by a group of equally anonymous moderators who can delete posts, close threads, and ban users. They have a list of rules that everyone is expected to follow, and all the boards have their own special rules. The site has several boards that deal with different topics such as news, fitness, and video games. Attempting to access any of these will show you a disclaimer stating that the contents of this site are intended for mature audiences only. It should be noted that some of these boards are tagged NSFW or not safe for work. This means that it potentially has content that's violent, sexual, or just generally vulgar. Threads on 4chan are usually deleted after a few hours or days because each board has a limit of only 10 pages. This is presumably done to keep content fresh and to cut down on server costs. This website is known to be the birthplace of some of the most popular internet memes of the early 2000s. One of the most notable examples of these is the Rickroll bait and switch prank, which is where unsuspecting victims are redirected to the music video of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Another good example is a lolcat meme. Lolcats are essentially just pictures of cats with humorous captions. Aside from memes, 4chan is also notorious for being the birthplace of the hacktivist group known as Anonymous. They are a group of hackers that launch cyber attacks on government agencies, corporations, and even actual terrorist organizations. 4chan users are also known for raiding websites and polls for fun. An example of a 4chan raid would be the time they targeted the Dub the Dew poll. It was a contest where users voted on the name of a new Mountain Dew flavor. Because of 4chan, the leaderboard was filled with offensive joke names like Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh, God.
Reddit, on the other hand, calls itself the front page of the internet. It acts as a source for whatever is currently trending on the web. Here, people can share content about almost any topic imaginable. It was founded in 2005 by Steve Huffman and Alexis Ohanian. One interesting note about Reddit is that during its early days, the creators used fake accounts to make the website feel alive. They kept doing this until the community grew to the point where it wasn't necessary anymore. Communities in Reddit are organized into subreddits, which are user-created boards that cater to specific topics. Examples of these are world and news, ScHitT, and gaming. Each sub has their own rules that are set by its creator, and people can volunteer to be its moderators. In order to create the subreddit, your account has to be at least 30 days old. You must also have an undisclosed amount of positive karma, which is something the community uses to show how much a user has contributed. Users gain karma when their posts are upvoted. On Reddit, people can upvote or downvote any post or comment. This is usually done to keep relevant content on the front page of a sub while pushing irrelevant or inappropriate content down. Unlike 4chan, Reddit requires users to register before they can use most of its features. This removes the element of anonymity, which makes it easier to identify which users are participating in a discussion. It also allows one to track a person's activity and posting behavior. Reddit also has its own set of global rules. Just like 4chan, users are prohibited from posting anything illegal or anything that contains other people's personal information. Reddit also requires people to tag any mature content or sub as not safe for work. Both 4chan and Reddit have had their fair share of controversial moments. One example is the Celebgate incident where nude images of several celebrities were leaked online. These images were posted on 4chan's random board and on several NSFW subreddits. Moderators of both sites started panicking and deleting threads when it was revealed that some of the victims may have been underage. At the end of the day, the only thing Reddit and 4chan have in common is that they're both online forums. Both have features that will appeal to different kinds of people. Reddit tends to attract more people though, presumably due to it being more organized. Discussion.
Yeah, it's got more American adverts. That's probably why it does.
Isn't there 8chan too?
Yeah, well, 8chan is gone. It's not around anymore. So it went from it went from something to 8chan to 4chan. So this is the new version of 8chan.
I thought it was another way around.
No, because 4chan is still up, and that's why we're doing a 4chan thing.
No, I
they were the mirror of 4chan on some time.
I always thought it was 4chan, then 8chan, because there was a bit of a migration to 8chan because they couldn't get away with the same shit on 4chan anymore.
No,
and
8chan.
That's why 8chan got shut down, because 8chan was like the worst version.
Nope.
I don't know much about the sites. That's why I want to.
Yeah, I don't either.
I never heard of it before, so.
I've heard of them, but I don't know.
They kept changing it to something different, and so once again, it was something first that my brain can't remember off the top of my head. Then it was 8chan.
Okay. Harry saying 8chan was a spin-off of 4chan.
Harry Watts said 8chan.
So 4chan was banned, so it's 8chan now.
Twitter to
no,
bitch
8chan was banned. So 4chan was the original. 4chan started banning certain things, so they created 8chan.
8chan for that.
But because 8chan was full of all the hateful shit, 8chan got banned because it was like the cesspool.
Think how BitChute is to YouTube, kind of deal. You can get away with a lot more stuff on BitChute
now.
8 cunt.
Well, it was 8kun and then 8chan, or 8chan and then 8kun.
8chan and 8chan got banned. Now it's 8kun.
Okay.
Yeah, 8chan. 4chan tried to go more legit and not have all like the really bad, hateful stuff on it, and they migrated and created 8chan.
Okay.
So this is where QAnon started on this channel. That's why we're going over this.
Okay. Makes sense, actually.
People might think of 4chan as sort of this playful space where memes come from, but the amount of sincere extremism on there is not to be underestimated.
Who is this 4chan?
So they pretty much made a Chinese website that was translated in English
and hosted it. And a lot of its success has come from the fact that it was kind of very different at the time. It was this image-based form of communicating that wasn't really quite popular in the US.
This is just a website with different sub-forums where people can post pictures in threaded conversations.
But be anonymous as fuck. Yeah, post anonymously.
The conversation is raw, it's unfiltered, so you're getting very truthful conversation. You judge somebody by the content of what they're saying and not their username, not their registration date.
You can only have something like 160 threads that exist at any given time on a specific board. And for every new thread that's posted, an old one gets bumped off.
Things like lolcats, so images of funny cats. You've probably been rickrolled online, so you clicked on a link.
Okay. Sorry, Vila. I thought it was the other way around, but you're right.
A lot of very old stuff was already.
That's exactly why we do these things. If I'm wrong, you all. That's what this side chat's for everybody else. You all prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. The only thing that's wrong with being wrong is refusing to accept it.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew that one had been banned, and so my brain, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's keep blowing on.
Quite toxic and quite racist, quite misogynist. How the website is designed is that it really encourages a small sort of insular group to communicate.
I don't see myself as any more an advocate for.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of pedophilia and porn and Nazi stuff and a bunch of dark web crap that they can propagate on there that other people are getting a hold of. That normally is only stuck to the dark web, and only the real hardcore freaks or weirdos or those people know about that shit. When I was 15 years old, my best friend was a hacker, and he was able to hack into crazy shit. He hacked into the school system and changed our grades for middle school. He found all kinds of shit. We found hardcore fetish porn, or he did, obviously, where women are being like tied to these like water wheels, and the water beneath was electrocuted or electrified, and they were getting electrocuted going into it and coming out of it, and they were screaming, yelling. Like, I saw torture porn, like way more than I fucking should have. Like, yeah, no, there was like illegal, like they supposedly were signed up for it, but what they went through, they did not sign up for. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was before like real consent from doms and subs, and like, you know, like this was before, this was like old school torture. Yeah, this was like early 90s. It was crazy. Hey Reno, hey Archangel, if there's anybody else in the side chat that we have not said hello to, hey Mark Short, let us know and we'll say hello to you. I'm sorry, but that's the problem with these things, is they're showing like decapitations, women getting their heads blown off, you know, like nasty, crazy, effed up crap, and they're using it for propagating something, right? Like white nationalism, like
this. Their intention for this was for you to just be, you know, anonymous and post stuff, but
to be silly or to say
it got in the wrong hands, and
it was supposed to be share information that you wouldn't get kicked in the teeth for, or because you were trying to share.
It got abused.
Yeah, of course. And
that's what I was looking for.
White supremacist, ISIS, mafias, things like that got into these things, and they began using it as a tool to share, you know, like torture stuff. I don't know. I think it may have been on YouTube or some other platform, but there was a channel where they literally were torturing a gentleman for 4 years straight. Every single day they made a video of them like not feeding him, them like whipping his knees and doing all this weird, crazy stuff while he's in a cemented cell.
Wow.
And because nobody tagged it or nobody said anything, because it was only like the only people watching it, because of how they tagged it, it was only going to these people in that little faction,
a little circle. Yeah.
It was only, you know, it was tagged really fucked up and weird, to where you only put in this, that, this, and if you didn't put that in, you wouldn't find the video. Or if you didn't know their channel, you know, and all the people in this organization knew the channel. So every single day they watched the training for being in this organization was to watch that every single day, to be like, hey, if you don't fucking follow what we do, guess what we're going to do to you?
Yeah.
We're going to take away everything you have. We're going to put you in a fucking cell, and we're going to fucking videotape you and put it on the fucking interwebs every single day and show us torturing the shit out of you. And so everybody's going to behave after that. Yeah, no, of course, exactly. And that's why we're going over this. Wow. And some of it is 4chan is where the flat earth trolling came from. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, folks, everybody's watching aliens, cyborgs, lizards, brainlesses, mamas, Vilas, anybody, queens, kings, anybody. This is all for trolling. Literally. They make these things and you troll the fuck out of it. What you do is you post a fucking thread and it is a troll. You're trying to fuck with people's heads. Or you're posting something real. But if you don't have real shit to post, what are you doing? You're trolling people. Oh, John F. Kennedy's actually your mama's brother's sister's cousin.
Yeah.
And you see how many people
did get rid of clickbait.
Yeah, it's clickbait. Exactly.
No, clickbait.
Bean flickbaits? How many? Never mind. Well,
clickbait is a guy that like
clickbaits, right?
Kind of got popular on 4chan. He admitted to doing stuff with his like 8-year-old half sister.
Oh god! Yeah. And it was fake.
No, it was real. He's in prison now.
That was the real. Okay.
Yeah, Nick Bates, who was trying to defend Chris Chan.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now about that. Yeah.
4chan actually, members of 4chan went to the court case and handed over information to the detectives and stuff, and like they actually helped with the investigation a little.
Yeah. There was a content creator, I believe it was on 4chan or one of these websites, who claimed to be fucking his cousin who was underage, and they found out that it was just a neighbor who wasn't underage that they were making videos about and just trolling everybody, trying to get clickbait. Yeah, she was 19. Yeah, she was 19 and he was barely older than that or whatever. But it was a neighbor, and no, once again, it's just...
Yeah, I actually met them, and they were, like, pissed off. Like, oh, you talk mad shit about us, mate. Dude, you were acting like you were doing, like, fucking incestuous pedophilia, and you thought people were going to be nice about you.
Yeah, exactly. He got mad that that wasn't happening.
Nice things. It has, like, the old man who was alone for his birthday, and 4chan, like, got together and, like, got him loads of birthday presents, and like loads of people turned up, so he wasn't alone. And 4chan also went after the girls that took the piss out of the fat dancing man, and like he got tickets paid for to have a party. It's so nice things. Then so many dickheads are on there trolling and attacking people and doing fucked up shit as well. Like the nice things get swept under the rug.
Yeah, well, it should. They need to, whatever. They need to go to a better platform if they're going to actually be positive in it. But I get it. Sure, why not? Whatever, doesn't matter. What we're trying to do right here, right now, is we're trying to expose, like, the difference between certain websites and who is controlling them and how these things work, so that anybody out there who may almost get tricked into something watches this and does not get tricked into it. And or for all of us here and in the side chat to understand better what all of these things are, because we're living in this fucking digital world, and no matter how much we want to run away from it, it is causing societal consciousness to be changed, and we need it needs to be talked about.
Yes, it does.
So here we blow, or I want, never mind, we'll talk about it later.
Or anonymity than I do for identity. I'm just somebody who cherishes having.
And look at this little fucking 16-year-old, or I don't know, he made 16 to 18, and he may be 21, but this kid made this on a Chinese server and was able to just do this weird ass shit. Do you think he has a real control of anything, or do you think he really knows what he's actually doing? No. He just made a platform that somehow fucking blew up fucking bigger than he thought it was going to be, and now he doesn't know how to control it exactly.
Yeah.
Options.
This sort of insular, subcultural way of thinking also really fosters antagonism and hatred towards outgroups, towards people that don't belong to them. It also sort of brought forth the anonymous movements, which in a way was quite left-wing, quite progressive. They were taking down the Church of Scientology, and then also sort of, supported free speech.
I want to do a whole thing on anonymous, but I'm scared they're going to hack me in life because I'm a cyborg.
A lot of sort of apolitical gamers, young males, were kind of politicized because of the Gamergate controversy, which to them was sort of a campaign against what they said ethics in video games, journalism.
They told me they were coming to kill me. They told me specifically they were going to castrate my husband.
And this kind of grew into resentment against liberals or social justice warriors, or what is now more sort of seen as resentment kind of like against
for sure,
woke or against cancel culture.
And then he's 23 then in that clip, and then now he's 34.
Now
so
with Hiroyuki
back then he
Shimura,
was very fucking young.
Doesn't really seem to care about what happens on the platform.
How can you be 20? Yeah, if you're 23 years old, dude, you know how fucked up I was? You know how many drugs I was doing every single day? You know how many raves I was throwing? You know how much, like, if you threw money at me in a little bit of way, I technically would take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're starstruck. So if somebody's gonna tell you they're gonna make you a star, you're gonna fucking take that, even though you want to pretend you're a rebel. You still are gonna take that money.
Probably.
Well, he did. He sold it. It's literally just saying they sold it to what was it, Hiroshi?
Yeah.
Something.
And that's what I'm getting at. You know, when you're that young, you fucking make something that blows up. Somebody offers you fucking $1 billion or $1 million or whatever the fuck it was. I don't even remember. I don't even care. We're not gonna go over that. And you're gonna do it. If somebody says they're gonna give you $1 million and you're fucking 23, 25, even if you're fucking 69, you're still gonna take that shit.
For him to realize, I don't think I want this company anymore.
You know, when it was becoming such a bad problem with the 3%ers, the other white nationalists, all this other shit, that is fucking scary and hard to deal with. What do? You want to ban people, but you can't because you wanted it to be anonymous. And then you're like, oh, I want it to be open source and I don't want to, but then I do. And then, oh, am I getting kicked off this server and I'm putting on another server? Well, if I got to go to this server, do I have to pay more money? Well, how's my advertisers? Oh, do I need advertisers now? Oh, shit. Now I can't have this on. You know, there's so much shit that you have to
and the legalities behind all that too.
Yeah, and if you're in I don't know what country he's in, but like let's say he's in the Americas, even if he's on a Chinese server, he can still get charged for some shit. I'm pretty sure around the country or around the world, I didn't mean country, sorry, around the world and in all the continents, child pornography is a no-no, right? So if you are not, go ahead, Vila.
I just read what Mark Short said.
You have the ability to click on it if you want.
Sorry, I've done it a few times. I didn't want you to feel like I was hijacking.
Nope. That's what we have this for, together.
It was funny on morning TV here in Australia. They were saying that Anonymous were terrorists and Anonymous hacked the TV station so they could defend themselves. They made the TV station look bad. I want to see it.
Yeah, can we citation needed for that. But anyways, okay, so yes, I do love Anonymous, but I'm a little scared of them because I watch a lot of their like things they do behind the scenes because I do all the research I do, and some of their videos and some of the fucking emails and some of the other things that they do are fucking a little out there, and I can't say any more than that. But I love you, Anonymous. Please don't kill me. Do not send a drone. Don't send a drone after me. That's all I gotta say. Anyways,
in Brighton, they were doing one of the protests against Scientology. And I did not know who the fuck Anonymous was at that point. I must have been like 15. And they were there with the mask on and holding it. Went over, talked with him, and like me and my friends were mucking about, went to take his mask off, and he's like, "No, you can't do that." And like we had no clue what he was on about. And then he explained it. We're like, "Hey, we're gonna go away quickly now."
They are a bunch of of people who are way too smart for their own good. That's all I'm gonna say, and we're gonna watch the rest of this, and then we'll get into the
He was really nice to us stupid little teenage girls. So
no, the people that I know from the organization around where I am, and I've met them at different things. They're fucking really awesome. They're just way too smart for their own good. That's all I have to say.
Okay. And I think there's a lot of people that use the name.
What?
I think there's also a lot of people that only use the name and like they say that they're part of it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
they're just small groups.
Sure. But when there are people in the organization that you meet and you talk to for 5 milliseconds and they sputter out a bunch of crap that you don't understand with hacking, and you're like, please don't murder me if I don't understand what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that they in Minecraft.
What do we call it? Technobabble? I think it's technobabble. Yeah.
When you meet somebody who sputters out certain things at a certain time or in a certain way, you know they know what the fuck they're talking about, and you know that they are true or they actually are part of the organization. Some people you meet, you talk to them and they go, yeah, blah blah blah, and you're like, oh yeah, you're one of the followers. Right. Yeah, exactly. And we're not going to talk about them anymore because I do not want to be killed. So everybody, welcome my queen. How are you doing, my baby?
Birds, Slim. Okay, just keep her out for birds.
My head is killing me, but that's why I'm late. But I'm here.
Hey, you're here. That's all that matters. And Prince is in the side chat. Hi, Prince.
Hey, Prince. What's up?
Oh, jeez. Prince made it here before me, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, geez, you're slacker.
Right.
So, anyways, what we get to now is like their propaganda of nationalism, and we don't even need to say American or any other, because that's what this is showing. Anyways, let's keep blowing on just a little bit more before we show that news article. So 8chan, like they said, was another one of the websites.
If one place censors things or deletes things, like Christopher Poo did with Gamergate back in 2014, then it's very easy for users to just create a new image board. So 8chan was created in response to Gamergate discussion being banned from 4chan.
You can't prevent people from being radicalized to violence, but we can address the relentless exploitation of the internet to recruit and mobilize terrorism.
And that's the scary part of this, and that's exactly why we're talking about this right now. Let me go ahead and get to the thingy-mabobber to talk about what 4chan has done to the LGBT community and trying to troll them. I know most of us are very intimately involved with people in the LGBTQ, LMNOP, rainbow family. Some of us are trans, some of us are fit into that category of whatever. But 4chaners are trying to prevent LGBTQ youth from getting help by flooding the Trevor Project's suicide hotline.
Yes. That is so screwed up.
That is so terrible. Yep. Very screwed up.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through this very fast. Users on the notorious Troll Home, and exactly, Troll Home. They're all trolls, mainly on 4chan. It's there to just fuck with people, mainly. It's all it is there. Besides the mafias and different organizations that are there to use it to propagate their ideals. But anyways, appears to have targeted a nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention amongst the LGBTQ youth. Mm-hmm. As noted Tuesday by Alex Kaplan, senior researcher at the progressive media watchdog Media Matters of America. God damn it, that was almost a tongue twister. Users of 4chan politically incorrect image board claim they have purposely flooded a crisis hotline operated by the Trevor Projects with fake self-harm claims.
That's just
So let's just kind of look at this right quick. Can I make it bigger? Let me see if I can. I guess I'm on the Twitters and it may show me this a little bit bigger. Can I get it to be bigger? That's what gosh darn it. I hate when it does not show me what I want to see bigger. Is that what it is? That does not, I guess so. Anyways, let's go back to.
If you download the picture, can you make it bigger that way, or?
Shy.
Probably.
Looks like it's 2 pictures in one picture, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
You know.
Yeah. Give me just a second to reshare it.
Yes, Sydney, lay down, take a rest.
Yeah, go rest.
Yes, Sydney. I can't believe you're still going. Go now.
Anyways, it says user of the far right messaging board 4chan tried to clog up the hotline for the youth program for self-harm with fake cases to prevent people from accessing the hotline. The posted images of their conversations and claimed that the claims they were able to do to clog up the hotline.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what they do. So what they were doing is they were just doing far right falsely. Groomers. They were pretending there was groomers.
No, it says a post announcing the plan refers to the Trevor Project as groomers.
Yeah.
Just disgusting.
They also did racial and homophobic slurs, just so that people had to go through this thing to look at all of that stuff.
Wow.
So they wanted you to go on chat, phone, or type lines and say you were going to commit suicide or are being bullied, etc. The post reads. So they just wanted you to go on and fuck with them and make a bunch of stuff. So what I'm trying to look for right quick is if they have anything about the suicide rates in LGBT people or anything like that. I don't see that. But we all know, and if you don't know, the suicide rates of people in the LGBTQ scene, transgender, furry, anybody who doesn't think that they're a normal in the scene is really, really high. And so if you're feeling any of that, let somebody know, and we will definitely help you with finding a way to get help. Okay, this is exactly what I was.
If you want it.
So this is.
Where is it?
And in each state, there is a
help hotline.
Phone number that's not a general phone number, and it's specific for your state that you can call if you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or self-harm.
Exactly. So really quick, I found a pseudo statistic. Alarmingly, our research has found that every 45 seconds an LGBTQ young person attempts suicide. So every second counts for suicide prevention. So if they're clogging these systems up, there are thousands of people, I guess, at the least.
LGBTQ youth were 3.5 times more likely to attempt suicide than their heterosexual peers. The suicide rate among trans teens was 5.87 times higher than the average among all teens. Gay and lesbian youths were 3.71 times more likely to attempt suicide. Bisexual youths were 3.96 times more likely to attempt suicide than teens who identified as heterosexual. And this is in a 2022 study, so this is this is up to date.
Right.
It also talks about violence against them in schools and such.
And or on the street, because I got more fights on the street wearing a dress than I did in school. So
right. And also, they're not thinking about, they're not just clogging it up for the LGBTQ community. They're clogging it up for everybody who needs help.
Exactly.
So you guys are even clogging it up for your own people, if you want to put it that way.
Exactly. The white men are killing themselves. We need to worry about them because they can't have the white babies if they're not here to procreate. Never mind.
So I sent you an article, and it's Never Project's new survey from this year. They captured experiences of some 34,000 LGBTQ youths.
Yeah, that's what I was just reading of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. It's got a lot of good information on it, actually.
Okay, so I think that we just need to go to this part of it. And Mama, would you like to read it, or
That's what I was going to read to you. Something similar, yeah. Okay. So it says 10% were threatened or injured with a weapon on school property. 34% were bullied on school property. 28% experienced cyberbullying. 23% who had dated someone during the 12 months before the survey had experienced sexual dating violence. 18% students had experienced physical dating violence. Another 18% had been forced to have sexual intercourse at some point in their lives.
Okay, so really quick, before you read this next part, I'm going to highlight it because I think this is a very, very important part of the survey. So will you read this, please, Mama?
It says, as a result, LGBTQ students were 140% more likely than their heterosexual peers to skip school at least one day during the 30 days prior to the surveys.
So that means they have been pressured. They have been pressured so much because they are living their lifestyle out in the open that they decided that they were not or may not join school on a certain day for some reason, which means what happened to me multiple times was somebody says they were going to kick my ass the next day. Or the next time they saw me, right? Or through the grapevine, you heard somebody was going to beat your beep ass on the playground the next day or at lunch or something, right? So what did you do? You didn't go to fucking school that day, and then you fucking got a truancy, and then you got in trouble, and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. It wasn't because you didn't not want, I want to go to school every fucking day. Like, I hated school. But I wanted to go every day because I wanted to learn, because I knew that eventually I could use this shit. So when I grew up, I could fucking get a job or do something or want to be famous.
The people, though, they skip school because of the bullying, and then you miss so much school. Most of them are depressed when they skip school. They're not sat at home doing all what they could have been doing in school at home instead. They're doing all other shit, so they end up being woefully uneducated. They drop out of high school, which means they limit the jobs that they're actually able to get. It's such a big deal because this foreshadows the rest of their life. It sets up what they can and cannot do for the rest of their life.
The sad thing is schools don't do anything about it. They'll claim to have a tolerance policy on bullying, but they don't do squat about it.
No, I got my ass kicked because I was the gay boy on, back in the day or whatever in elementary school.
I got beaten up and got told I was making myself a target.
Yeah, exactly.
Because someone else outed me.
Oh wow.
Well, that's. I mean, whatever. I got my butt kicked because I acted too girly because I wanted to hang out with my girlfriends, and I painted my nails or let them paint my nails and let them do my makeup and whatever. So, really quick, what I want to go over. I think we went over everything, and before we get done, we're going to go over something fun after
Those
this.
boys knew how dumb they were while the girls are bending over putting your eyeshadow on. You see right down their tops.
Oh, dude, once I became a teenager and my sexuality began budding, the girls that like did my makeup and stuff like that, no, I totally ended up having sex with. Like, it was funny. These dudes were all like, oh, I'm not gonna let the girls do blah blah blah, and I'm like, wait, I get to go to the sleepovers and they want to have sex. I just fucked 3 of them, and out of 5 of them at a sleepover. What are you talking about? I'll pretend I'm gay all day long, honey, as long as I get pussy. Like, it's
Those guys go to like home ec class because that's where all the girls are. You know?
Exactly. Like, they didn't understand the concept of like, no, I'll be silly or do whatever they want. I'll wear a dress and put on makeup. But they all end up sitting on my. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. Anyways, let's get through this because I believe this is something that we should talk about with, Queen and I, with what we're dealing with our children, and or other people need to be aware of this. So, what we can do to counteract suicide rates. So, I would like to read this. Research has consistently shown support of parents, peers, and people around them lead to better mental health, greater self-acceptance, the enhanced well-being among the youth. One of the funny things that I always hear, and what happened to me is, oh, it's a phase. You'll grow out of that. Sure. Let the kid do whatever they want, and if it is a phase, they will go out of it. If it's not, accept whatever the fuck they want to be. Who gives a flying F? If they want to be a fucking parrot that lives on fucking their significant other's shoulder, and somehow that works, let that shit happen. I don't know why or how, but go ahead and go with it. You know what I'm saying? As long as their mentality is being okay with it. And you also are making sure that their mentality is still in reality, some way, shape, or form, right? Once they start saying they're seeing things and this, that, okay, go to counseling. If they're not feeling good about their transition or how to, or what to do in their life, and they're having questions and you can't do it, then get them counseling. That's a different story. But if somebody says, Go ahead, Vila.
And also, if someone says to you about, conversion therapy works so good for so-and-so, for my hairdresser's cousin's son. No. That is abuse. I don't care what they say. Or, if they can do it, then it can't be abuse. If it's legal, then it's not abuse. Look at the... It's still abuse. Look at those fucking what is it? Child reform places where they send your kid out to the desert and all the abuse coming from those places, right?
I was just looking that up. Yeah, I was just looking that up the other day, and we're gonna do a whole thing about the goddamn, what is it called? Son of a beach. Let me see if I can find out what it's called.
There's one that if you do it, I really want to talk to you about talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's one that I don't hear anyone talk about.
It's very, very new. It's just okay. Yeah. It just happened in the last couple of years or something like that. Now all these claims are coming out about it. Anyways, we'll talk about that in the near future. Vila, you and I will hook up about talking about that, and I'm sure Queen will be involved in that. And we're going to be talking about a lot of cults in the very near future that have recently come out and old ones. So anyways, let's keep blowing on with this. So communicate often. So just keep an open conversation about sexual orientation, gender identity. Mainly what I want to talk about is consent and or no spots and or when people are like abusing you.
Right.
Making sure that they like if they feel uncomfortable with somebody doing something to them, family member or somebody close to them, that they can talk to you about it. Keep that communication line open enough to where they can, because I was abused by a handful of people, and even growing up, I went through a bunch of stuff. And one of the things that happened to me, like I'll definitely have to talk about when I do story time or Slim talks about it, because I cannot talk about it in depth right now. But consent was never taught to me. And so I didn't know how to say no and or like not to like push myself onto people for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was 21 or 22, I was like, oh, I shouldn't like get a girl like completely drunk and then tell her certain words in a certain way to get her to sleep with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, like I'm actually just like doing this to make this person do whatever I want. And that's very persuasive, and I should not do it in the certain way that I'm doing it, obviously. So again, consent, we'll go over a lot of those things anyways. So communicate often, work as a team. Parents with their teenagers work together to navigate the challenges that arise. You know, what would you like to do with the goal that you're going to? What do we need to do to keep you staying healthy, doing well in school, and creating a strong supportive system within or with outside the family as well? Finding out who they're dating, finding out who they're hanging out with, meeting all of those people and getting to introduce yourself to them and getting to know them. Things like that make it so that you can make a healthy, growing path for the individual so that they can understand themselves and feel comfortable, because I had body dysmorphia most of my life, and it was feeling weird that like I didn't know if I was gay or straight or lesbian or bisexual or tri, or if you put on this mask and you like put on you light candles and you do this thing, if I want to tie me up and beat me, and I didn't know. So for a while it was very confusing to get into finding out my sexuality. And so now I figured out what I am and how I like to play and how things work, and the way to do scenes if people ask me to perform in different ways. So I can be on stage, I can be a sub, I can be dom, I can be slave. There's all kinds of ways that I can play. I've been pet before for multiple middle-aged women. There's been a handful of things that I've done to experience different ways. So anyways, just to get more into this, to like help us understand or ways to be involved in our teens' life. So just be involved and keep talking with them. Look at what they're doing in school and help them with their school if they need it. Make sure you're there for them. Watch for any signs of bullying, even including cyberbullying. Just keep talking with them. And if somebody says, oh, these people are like talking shit about me online, and you like go and check that out. Like I said earlier, they're friends and romantic partners. Meet them and talk to them and find out, ask them a bunch of questions about that person. What their real name.
Make sure none of his friends. Yeah, and never, and make sure none of their friends like Mr. Taint.
Yeah, if they say that they love Andrew Taint, then just bolt, just yeet. Anyways, thank you all for the thumbs ups. I have my merch up there. We did a bunch of new merch. I'm starting to make I bet you're a flat earther. And I think I'm going to do a shirt that says, bet you can't convince me. And then I'll have the flat earth image that the earth is flat. So I think I'm going to do a couple of like funny merchandise things, mugs and other things. And then the queen, we'll be making her a bunch more merchandise as well in the near future. And we may be starting an Etsy store for her, but we will talk about that in the near future.
We'll talk about that later.
We will figure that out later. I mean, we'll talk about it later. I mean, we will. Never mind.
Right.
Let me get to here and see if I have. Where's the funny thing I have that I wanted to show?
I don't know. But I do need to go to bed in a bit, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do this right quick, and then we're going to end it. Shaquille O'Neal claims the earth is flat.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to hear this on our way out.
We don't know
Andrew Tate, Harry Walk.
Cost like $80. Fill it up. Right. You said when it gets to half, then you said $20 to bring it back to full.
I know they're in the off season, but remember this with Shaquille O'Neal.
I would have to stop my offense and spend 80. No, you wouldn't. Why? You're complaining about when it gets to 0, you spend 80, right? When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20.
Yeah, but I keep stopping, putting 20 in, and it'll equal 80, the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas.
The average human stops once a week for gas, right? But you only work here twice. You would probably have to stop maybe once every 2
What are you talking about?
Don't even try.
This is bordering on.
Just wait.
This is bordering on what's closer, the West Coast or the moon.
So if
it's bordering on that.
Well, bringing up the moon may be a nice segue, but we'll let this play for now.
You're complaining about the $80,
yes,
right? So
I'm
at 0,
complaining.
okay, so at 0 is 80.
No question.
So right at full is 80, right?
Yes.
So if it gets to half, that'll be 40, right?
No question
so
about
if you put 20 in, then you bring it back up to 3/4.
So this was one of the long-standing jokes on Inside. However, the following I'm about to show you, not super hilarious. Shaquille O'Neal made an appearance on the Kyle and Jackie O show, which can be found on their YouTube channel, along with their pod and various other social channels. Now look, in the past 2 years, we have learned how celebrities, athletes, entertainers, musicians are now more believed than those who study this kind of stuff in their respective fields. Shocker, I know. Shaq then put the onus on himself to spew this. It's a theory, O'Neal said on the podcast, when asked about his past comments on whether the earth is flat. It's just a theory. They teach us a lot of things. It's just a theory. I flew 20 hours today. Not once did I go this way, O'Neal said, noting he didn't tip over or go upside down. He added that he's also unsure about whether the planet is spinning. You know, they say the world is spinning. I've lived on a lake for 30 years, and I've never seen the lake move to the left or right, he told listeners. So where to begin?
Earth spins on its axis, and it takes 1 day to do so. In 1 day, Earth makes 1 rotation on its axis. Earth also travels on an elliptical orbit around the sun, and it takes 1 year to make a complete trip.
As a matter of fact, CBS News reported the Earth is spinning faster and recently recorded its shortest day ever, scientists say. June 29th, 2022 was 1.59 millisecond less than the average day, scientist Leonid Zotov told CBS News. Since 2016, the Earth started to accelerate, said Zotov, who works for Lomonosov Moscow State University and recently published a study on what might cause the changes in Earth's rotation. This year it rotates quicker than in 2021 and 2020. Science ABC wrote, the reason we don't feel the Earth spin on its axis is because everything attached to the surface of the Earth moves at the same speed as Earth. This makes it feel like the Earth is not moving at all. Sadly, this is not Shaq's first go-round with a conspiracy theory. On the big podcast with Shaq, circa 2017, he said, it's true, the Earth is flat, O'Neal said. There's 3 ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear. In school, First thing they teach us, oh, Columbus discovered America. But when you got there, it was some fair-skinned people with long hair smoking on peace pipes. So what does that tell you? The blank looks flat to me. Do not go up and down on a 360-degree angle and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside of Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? So you mean to tell me that China is under us? China is under us? It's not. The world is flat. He would proceed to play down his comments. On the Art of Charm podcast, the host would ask, what's going on with the flat earth thing? Are you just messing with everybody with that? Shaq would respond, no, the earth is flat. Would you like to hear my theory? The first part of the theory is, I'm joking, you idiots. That's the first part of the theory. The second part is, I said jokingly that when I'm in my bus and I drive from Florida to California, which I do every summer, it seems to be flat. When I'm in my plane and we're getting ready to land and I open up the window and I'm looking at all the land that we're flying over, it seems to be flat. He has yet to pull the same shtick in response to his latest controversy. Sam Bentley, a professor of geology.
So he technically said that he was joking.
Joking because they put it seems.
Yeah. So he's technically joking with that. Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, I'm off to bed. I just wanted to say one thing. I just got a notification for Team Skeptic is gonna have a premiere, and it looks like it's gonna be about our friend Chilio.
In 30 minutes.
Of course. Yeah. So that's,
okay, so we still have 20 minutes or something.
I'm off to bed because I've been sleeping way too little.
Yep.
You kind of always keeping me up.
You fucking ask us to do this.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
time to go
yesterday was worse.
Mister.
I was like, I'm gonna finish my Coke and then I'm gonna go to bed. And then somebody popped into the voice chat.
And you stayed in there for Okay, night brainless.
Good night brainless.
Okay,
love you.
So
love you.
We'll see you. The last thing we're gonna go over before we end this is you can now officially drink the tears of a unicorn.
What the hell?
What the hell, Karen?
What the hell, Karen? That's how you do
it. Yeah, thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
So now you can drink
something.
3 vodka cranberries.
Okay.
Downed more like blurry magic in quality, but what it actually tastes like is the enchantedly scrumptious gin liquor allegedly comes from the Tears of a Unicorn and smells the fragrance of juniper, orange, tangy lemon with the hints of mint and lemongrass.
Okay.
You'll taste candied orange peel, flying saucer sweets, and a hint of maple syrup with a whisper of piney juniper berries and cinnamon cardamom.
Wow, that's very descriptive.
Yeah, that's way too many flavors. Way too many.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, that is like the worst altogether. That is not how that works. It would be horrible. Exactly.
I figured it was some clear. I think it was very vodka, but it's gin. So yeah, it's clear liquor. Yeah,
exactly. All right, thank you all very much for being here.
Flat Earth tears. Alcoholic
exactly. We should make a Flat Earth tears vodka.
Just be sailing.
You have to put a warning on it. Warning may contain piss.
Yeah, you're right. May contain a part piss. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we will see you tomorrow, where Hick McDickerson is going to be premiering. I guess not premiering, but coming back once again, and he will be going over the different shapes of the Earth. So flat Earth, hollow Earth, and donut Earth, I believe, are the Earth.
Concave, donut, yeah.
Yeah, concave, and all the different shapes of the Earth.
Pyramid.
Yes, penis, vagina, all the shapes of the Earth that could be. Does anybody have anything
there's an Earth like that?
Yeah. Does anybody have anything they want to promote before we get the fuck out of here?
Tomorrow, which I'm working on, so keep an eye out on the Discords.
Awesome.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.